Hi there, Chris here, another quick tip for you all. In this video we are going to take another look at painting Poxwalker flesh from the new Dark Imperium box set. And so as you can see here, we have another model ready to go. He's been assembled and primed in Vallejo's Surface Primer Light Gray using a Badger Patriot 105 at around 20 psi to get that nice primer layer down. We're going to use a base coat of Ungor Flesh. This is going to give us a nice light flesh tone. It's going to be nice and light as, you know, we're going to do something a little bit different here. The last time with the flesh, we went with a slightly darker tone. And so now we're going to go with something a little bit brighter. It's a little bit more lighter side of things, a little bit more animated, you know, a little bit more cartoony, if you will, I suppose. But it's going to be a lot brighter. So after putting about 2 layers down, you see we've got a nice solid base coat onto all the flesh areas. We're going to use Elysian Green. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to take some Lemaine Medium and we're also going to use some Liquitex Flow Aid. And yes, you guessed it, we are going to make a shade wash out of this. So basically what we do is we slap a little bit onto our palette, add a little bit of medium, or a whole lot of medium I should say, and a drop or two of Liquitex Flow Aid. The Liquitex Flow Aid wasn't shown, but you've seen I use a little dropper there just to add 2 drops to this mixture. And basically the Flow Aid is to help aid the Elysian Green fall within the recesses, giving us a slight tint on the overall surface, but allowing it to creep into the recesses, just like how we get with the shade washes from Citadel, how they act and how they basically behave. And so this is going to make that color basically do that exact same thing. As you can see there, once it's dry, we're going to take Ungor Flesh and we're going to take Pallid Witch Flesh. We are going to mix these in a 1-to-1 mix ratio. We slap a little bit onto the palette there. And of course, when we say we're mixing these roughly in a 1-to-1 ratio, grabbing the little dollops of paint onto your paintbrush is not an exact science or you know, a precise way of measuring out how much paint you're getting in each dollop of on your brush. But as long as you're consistent, you'll get consistent results, and so you should have no trouble making accurate mixtures in such a fashion. Of course, if you want to use eyedroppers or anything of that nature, feel free, of course, to get that really precise ratio going on. But as you can see here with this highlight here, we're basically just going to begin applying this pretty much kind of a zenithal type broad kind of face highlight onto these areas. You can see here we're kind of hitting just really the high points. You can see it's really kind of a sharp contrast between the previous flesh layer, the green, and now this new flesh highlight. But we're going to take it all down with some Baltan Green. We're going to use some medium here, and also we're going to use a little Liquitex Flow Aid. You can see right there, just a little drop, and you can see how it changes the viscosity again. Again, really what it was is just to offset the amount of Lemaine medium that we were adding to it. And so now you can see here we're applying it over to the entirety of the flesh areas. And again, the shade wash is creeping into the recesses, providing a slight tint over the entire area. But really that's what we want. We want it to give us this nice solid green color onto the flesh, giving us all this color depth. And of course, with those highlights and everything like that else, it'll hide basically kind of those broad highlights we had done, but that's fine. It gives us a medium transition going on. And so as you can see here, we have this really nice bright high points. We also have these really contrasty low points, and again, it gives us a very nice interesting look. And so you can pretty much stop there if you're doing a whole bunch of these, but we can take it a little bit further with some Pallid Witch Flesh. We apply by dry brush. Of course, when you are applying this by dry brush, you're taking a lot of the paint off those bristles, and so again, when you are moving the bristles across the model surface, you're going against the grain, and if you can feel the model moving in your hands, you're applying too much pressure, and so ease up off that pressure. You're only looking for about half those bristles to kind of make contact with that surface, so you're keeping a very, very light hand, and that's really key in when you're dry brushing on a model, is that you're maintaining a very, very light hand. You're maintaining that there's very little paint left on those bristles, and you'll get really excellent results. And of course, you know, you could go over this afterwards to you know, alleviate that kind of chalky look if that's not really to your liking. But otherwise, there it is. That's the end result of our alternate Poxwalker flesh tone. We've got even more painting tutorials in the Silver MiniWarGaming Vault. You can watch another one today about how I finish off these tentacles of this model. Again, you can see we are working on the tentacles of the same model here, and of course you can sign up for a free 7-day trial and make sure that you get the silver membership, and that'll give you instant access to over 1,000 painting tutorials already in the vault. And so thank you for watching, and happy wargaming.